Yeah, it sounds like you're reading a Wikipedia article.
I'm really sorry that I'm too articulate for you to
You're not
imagine somebody
debating
can talk.
Vosh here. You're debating technicals.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
forgot he's black. I'm sorry. I forgot he's black. He's not like.
What?
It's Black History Month, dude. Come on.
What does that have to do with
He is Black
anything?
History.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Smaggle's kind of saying I should assume you have a low IQ, so I don't know. Maybe Smaggle's on some race realism shit. I'm sorry.
Vosh
Vosh is
also
white.
fat,
Technicals is black. I'm gonna talk to them the same way. I'm sorry if you guys can't understand this. I'm really bad.
What are you saying, dude?
Why does race have to do with a grooming
I'm just
conversation?
saying. I don't know. Like, ask Smaggle.
Alright, so notice how I was being spurgy? Well, Bunk is 10 times spurgier than me, so...
That's
go,
not
Bunk.
true. I wouldn't say that.
Busy now.
He's
He's
I feel
not
like I'm literally a mini
spurgy.
Destiny, so like...
Smaggle, he's not spurgy. He's aggressive.
right
It's
now.
fine.
I can't control who Smaggle unmutes. He's just like going at it.
Yeah, I can't
You
do that
literally-
either.
Hold on, you literally told me to unmute Bunk. Shut up, Doc.
You literally said before, I'm gonna mute
Wait.
Bunk in an Advil.
I know, yeah, I did.
You're
I was
the double
waiting-
standard,
I was
Smaggle. Where's the
oh
double
my
standard?
God. Shut
Yeah,
Yeah,
up.
this is what
Just
happens when
shut
you
up
get a
now, Bunk.
retard a fucking
Take it
mod.
away.
Yeah, how did Smaggle get mod?
Because Boblex had pity for him.
He says the N-word a lot.
Why the heck
and
not?
Max likes that.
It's
Thanks, Max.
it was definitely a Make-A-Wish like thing. Okay.
You guys are so mean to him. God, I would hate.
I mean,
to be
He deserves
To
it.
be fair-
he deserves it.
Does
He does, but to be fair, I
Yeah.
mean to everyone. Anyways,
Yeah,
I mean,
Bunk, technicals, go off.
All right. Hey, what's up, Technicals? How you doing today?
What's up, Bunk? I saw you debated that one Stardust chick. I didn't watch it. but-
no.
Good. You'll save brain cells if you don't watch it. I guarantee you don't want to. So first of all, I'd like to say that I don't think you made huge, like, overwhelming errors like some people will try and say about you. I think that you have made
no,
some
I
errors
mean,
in
I think you
conclusions.
are.
No,
Can someone
don't tell
server
me-
mute this
don't tell me what
retard?
I think. Okay, first of all, Tech. Okay, I think that actually the errors that you're making could be made by just about anybody. So the first thing I like
get
to
to the
say.
errors.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So
Hurry
first
up.
of all, I'm sorry. Are we on a time limit right now? Like, what,
Yes,
do I have a?
my time is valuable.
Okay, sure, buddy. All right,
Time
I
makes
promise.
money.
Yeah,
Hurry up.
all right. Listen, mate. I know that you have a really busy schedule interviewing people on the street, whether they're a pedophile or not. Okay, but I just need to get
Yeah.
out these points. Okay, let's
I got
go
like
through
5
them.
more pedophile interviews to do by the end of the day, so I'm losing daylight.
All right.
Oh
All right,
my
so
God.
The first thing that I like to point out is that there's a reason that we think age gaps are bad. It's not just because age gaps are bad or they are weird. These are not things that we really posit whenever we're saying that things are immoral. Things that are immoral, especially when it comes to age gaps, is that there's a lack of informed consent. Informed consent being somebody being able to fully
Are
process.
you
and
reading from a Wikipedia article?
No,
you're
I just
really,
like
you're
to
really
talk.
gunning.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. I just am fairly articulate.
He snorted a line of coke before the stream.
So
Yeah,
again,
he's, like,
the
going a
age
mile
gaps
a
are
minute.
immoral because of informed consent is not there. Informed consent being the ability to understand what the action that you're doing to an adequate degree of which you can consent to given interaction. And then if somebody has more power or more understanding than you do in that given situation, that would make the interaction immoral as one is clearly being exploited by the other. Would you agree with that? That's not an answer to my question.
Dude, you said like a million fucking things, and then you end it with, "Do you agree with that?"
Well,
I was
yeah,
literally
do I
falling
need to go-
asleep.
Do I need
Can
to
you condense
slow
that
down
into
for
like
you?
one
I'm
sentence?
sorry. No, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe I have to bust out like crayons and start writing it down on a piece of paper. Okay. So the first thing I
No,
said.
so you're talking about like informed consent, right?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
So
I
what
didn't
the
know I
fuck is
lost
the
you.
question? Can you put it
So-
into like one sentence?
The reason that age gaps tend to be bad is not just because they are axiomatically bad.
You're explaining age gaps. Ask the question you were
Yes,
asking
this
me.
is okay. I'm explaining my understanding of why age gaps are bad. I'm asking if you agree with it. I don't know. Like, don't like go completely crazy on me. All right, it's not that hard of a question. I'm
I
asking
like
you
what
if
AC
you
just
agree.
said in
I'm
Discord
asking
chat.
you.
Yeah,
I'm
Bunk
asking
is
you.
using lefty meme tactics.
I'm asking you if you agree, okay? I'm asking you if you agree with the idea. The reason that age gaps are bad is because one person has far more understanding than the other.
Yeah, so yes, so it's like a maturity power dynamics thing. Yes, I agree.
Okay. So then furthermore, I think that your video was essentially pointing out that you couldn't be morally consistent when condemning Red Kiwis, Mini Lad, ZeRo, while not condemning Zaptie. That was my understanding and takeaway from the video. There's some kind of double standard, and there's no way to make a moral system that would condemn one without condemning all the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so The problem with this is that I can draw a moral distinction between every single time that you bring up these given interactions and between Zaptie. Zaptie seems to be the least morally egregious out of all the scenarios that you bring up, and because of that, I can draw a moral line between one and the other, as it is not as bad as the other given situations. And we have to judge, whenever we're having people who have a platform, the risk of having them have that platform, as well as the trade-off of having them being able to make content. This is a very, very basic, moral exchange. We're weighing different
Can you get to
outcomes.
the fucking point?
So the first case you bring up is Mini Lad. Now, it is true that Mini Lad had these sexual interactions at the ages of 17 and 21, which is around the same age gap. The problem is that it's not just the numbers in the age gap that matter. All right, that's an incredibly reductionist way of viewing age gaps. For example, there can be an age gap between
Okay,
like
can I
a
ask a
20-year-old
question
and
there
a 40.
after what you just said, because you're not letting me talk? Okay, so
Well, I mean, if you
let's
wanted to talk, like,
let me talk for
yeah,
2
sure.
seconds.
Go
So
for it, yeah.
if in one instance, like with Mini Lad, right, you're gonna call, let's say the worst possible ages is 21, 16. If you're gonna call that pedophilia, like the most important thing with pedophilia is knowing the ages and the attraction, right? And then you go to another
okay.
case and have a very similar age gap, 2016, and that you need to know all this fucking nuance and context for that to be considered pedophilia, is what you're saying.
I don't know if you know the history of what I've done. You probably don't. I'm fairly
Are
small.
you gonna give me a
content creator.
slavery like synopsis now? Like what history do I need to know for this? Is pedophile accusations, need a high IQ to understand pedophile accusations?
No, I'm just trying to try and clear up like some of my positions, because you're making a whole lot of assumptions and it doesn't seem like you really want to have a
No, you're
conversation.
just saying a lot without actually making
really
a point.
sorry. I'm really sorry. You're trying to avoid this conversation, but I just want to get through some points. Okay, so the first thing is
avoiding
I
it.
don't
I'm on
think the
call with, like,
label.
30
I don't think the
people.
label of the word of pedophile is what I'm going to be judging morally off of. I'm not going to judge off that label. In addition to that, I think that your points as far as the definition of pedophilia are generally pretty good. I've made the similar points in the past. So I'd like to actually get into the discussion, if you don't mind. So the problem with the Mini Lad situation being brought up as something that is as bad or as condemnable as Zaptie is because Mini Lad was talking with the individuals at the ages of 13 and 14. There's a lot of things, a lot of exploitation that can arise from these types of interactions. If you are having interactions with people who are 13, 14 years old and you're 19, this is the time that you're meeting, you're conversing with them up until the point that you have a sexual relationship at 17 and 21. We generally view these types of things as being grooming, which is the exploitation of a given situation.
No, because grooming is actually the erosion of boundaries, the sexual,
Yes.
the erosion of the sexual
yes, I'm
boundaries.
aware of
So
that,
you would
yeah.
need to establish, if you're going to keep bringing up 13, 14, that there was an erosion happening there.
Do you
When
think,
it's stated,
in
the case, let me fucking talk for 2 seconds. When it's stated in the case with Mini Lad that they added on Snapchat and started flirting at the age of 16, it's not really relevant to make he was grooming since 13 argument. You're kind of just
the problem
misrepresenting the
that
case.
whenever you have an interaction, you have a established relationship with a given individual.
Yeah, but
since
that's
they are
not
very,
what
very
grooming
young.
is.
No,
Just because you talk to someone who's 12 doesn't mean you start grooming them when they were 12.
I'm really sorry. You're not letting me actually
You should
finish.
be. Factually finish? Go ahead. I'll factually finish all over your face.
Wow, you're just so fucking mad, dude. Holy shit. Chill the fuck out. That you're so fucking
no
irritated.
idea.
Oh my god.
Dude, can you finish this fucking gay little debate course you're taking right now?
Gay little debate course. I'm just trying to have an actual conversation with you about morals because you're making a lot of moral claims. So I figured you might want to have the conversation.
You're having a conversation with yourself. You've been talking for Yeah, it sounds like you're reading a Wikipedia article.
I'm really sorry that I'm too articulate for you to imagine.
You're not debating Vosh here. You're debating technicals.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot he's
down
black.
a
I'm sorry. I
little.
forgot he's black. He's not like
Black history month, dude. Come on.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Smaggle's kind of saying I should assume you have a low IQ, so I don't know. Maybe Smaggle's on some race privilege shit.
Wait, why would you assume he's low
saying?
IQ? Because he's black, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna assume less of him. All right, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not gonna assume less of him because he's black.
You just assume he was lesser, and you brought up the fact he was color when Smaggle never brought up.
I'm sorry. Vosh is white. Vosh is white. Okay, no, Vosh is white.
Is also
Vosh is white. All right. I'm sorry. Vosh is white. And Nicholas is black. I'm gonna talk to them the same way. I'm sorry if you guys can't understand this. I'm really bad.
What are you saying, dude?
Why does race have to do with a grooming conversation?
I'm just saying. I don't know. Let's ask Smaggle. All right.
Didn't
The
say
problem
anything.
is
Get
that we
to the
have.
point. Get to the point.
Jesus fucking Christ! Oh my God! Can we
Let him
please
speak.
get through the
Let Bunk speak.
conversation? Holy
Oh,
shit!
Bunk
Bublax,
Bunk speak.
what's up? What's
Yo,
up,
what's up,
Bubba?
Bubba?
Shit, you get the
Roblox
fucking
is enjoying
conversation.
this.
I
Hey,
just
Bubba
woke
Lex.
up and I saw a fucking legion
Bubba,
of
I'm live.
people in my
Yeah,
waiting
there's
to
like
call. I'm
fucking
like,
30
what the
people in here.
fuck?
Yeah.
Boblex,
All right,
Doc
can
is
I
live,
get
so
to
don't
the
say any
point? Can I get to the
slurs.
point? Okay,
Yes,
so
dude,
an
please get to the
interaction,
point.
I could say that an interaction between people who have an established relationship at a very, very early age that are very, very impressionable, and then turning that into a more sexual relationship could be seen as very, very immoral. Would you not agree with me on that statement?
Yeah, it can be seen as immoral, but you can't just sit here and say he was grooming since 12 because then you're
What
making the
definition do you have
characterization-
of grooming?
You're making the characterization that he's trying to have
How do
sex
you
with them since
define
they're 12,
grooming?
and I don't think you have the evidence to prove that. I don't think you can actually
I think
check
when
that.
there's an established relationship from a very
I
young
don't think
age
I
and
don't
that
think any of
turns
the victims
sexual,
even
that's
said
generally
he
grooming.
was grooming me until I was 12. So I
That
think you
doesn't.
need to
That
fact check
literally
yourself on
does
that.
not matter. Like,
It
I don't
doesn't
know why
matter?
you think that.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
oh,
I don't
okay.
know. Like, I'm presenting you a case. You tend to agree with me that it's
Yeah, you're
immoral,
presenting
and
me
you're
a
very,
case
very,
I read.
and
I
you're
already know
and you're
the
having a
case.
very, very hard time with actually having a conversation with me. So I just want to have a
How am
conversation.
I having
In
a
addition
hard
to that,
time?
because I don't know, you just have like this spurg out every single time that I start talking.
You're the
It's,
one
oh my
talking a
God.
fucking mile a minute. Who's spurging here?
The person who constantly has to talk about how much they need me
Okay,
to slow down.
let's
You
get
mean
back to
respond to your
okay. Let's
point?
get back to the point. Let's get back
Yeah,
to the
I
point.
would
So,
love to get onto the point. I would adore that.
You're the
Okay,
one
please.
fucking
I'm curious.
talking around. Get to the point.
I'm
wait,
talking
I'm
about the
curious.
case. It's really complicated. I'm sorry if you want to reduce it down to some really, really basic things, but this is a very complicated moral scenario that I want to unravel. But you seem really, really abrasive to the idea that we can
Why
get
are
into
you
nuance.
talking about pedophile accusations like it takes a high IQ to understand them and deconstruct them?
Because
they're just so complex.
understanding morality is
that
very, very,
complex,
very
really.
complex. It's
That's
very
why every
complex.
fucking
Yes.
16-year-old talks about them over gameplay footage. It's not that complicated, dude.
I'm not a gameplay commentator. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
buddy.
I didn't say you are. I don't really give a shit. You
Well,
probably
yeah, a
talk
lot
over
of
your
a lot of people talk about
DeviantArt
things they're
avatar.
uninformed in. If that's what you're trying to say, then I
Yeah.
agree with you. But I'd like to actually get into the point. Okay. In addition to that, it had
Please
3
do.
different victims, which we could say it's probably a high likelihood this person's is to reoffend. The amount of victims that somebody has, I think, has a very, very large moral weighing whenever we're talking about these given scenarios. I think when there's 3 different inappropriate sexual interactions with somebody that they had a previously established relationship, which can degrade boundaries very, very easily. I don't know why you're so abrasive to that idea. You've also agreed with me that it's probably immoral to do so. We can say that this is probably worse than the Zaptie case because just the age gap isn't all that it goes into the morality of a
So
given
are we
interaction.
trying to build a tier list of which one's worse? When
Well, obviously, yeah, no, obviously we have to get into the nuances of morality.
Bunk,
I mean,
Bunk,
no, actually, no. Okay,
Bunk.
oh my God, Technicals, you literally said something like this in your video.
I'm
You said that there's a
trying to
moral
talk.
difference between things that are
Listen.
both immoral.
Dude, shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. Holy shit. So are we doing a pedophile tier list, or are we saying everyone's bad? Because I'm saying everyone's bad.
I'm saying that things can be bad, but there's also a certain weighing into the amount that people can do
you're saying
before
nuance.
we take away their platform. Yes, I'm saying we need nuance when we
Yeah,
talk about things like this.
I'm not trying to take away anyone's platform is the thing.
Well,
So
yeah,
what
but
are we
some people
arguing?
are. Some people are, and I'm building a
Who the
case
fuck
for
is
the
some
idea.
people? Me and you are talking, Bunk.
I mean, I would say that people like Mini Lad shouldn't have a platform. If that's what you're asking, yes.
Okay, well that's a whole
But
different
I would
argument.
say Zaptie would. Well, you're asking for my take, so I'm giving you my take, and I'm trying to get through it with you, and it's really, really
saying that's a
hard.
different argument. No, because you need to make one argument at a fucking time, and you're making 3 at the same time.
No,
and
I'm
then
making
asking
supporting
someone to respond to
arguments,
you.
so I don't know if you don't understand how arguments work. So you're making
I know how
supporting
fucking
arguments.
debate works. Don't condescend to me, you fucking retard.
Well, then why can't you understand that I'm making supporting arguments for a final point?
For a final point, because you're sitting here talking for 5 minutes to yourself.
Oh,
and
because
then
you have a short
expect someone
attention
to
span. I
absorb.
have ADHD, and I can
Oh
pay
my
attention to things
God.
more than you can.
It's
Tech.
very
I'm really,
obvious
really
that you have ADHD. I think everyone picked up that you have fucking ADHD,
Then why
dude.
can I focus on things better than you can, Tech?
No, because a debate is a back and forth. You're making 7 points
Well, I mean,
at
if
the
you have any
same
objections
time.
to the things that I'm
okay,
saying, if you have any
okay.
objections to the
Well,
things that I'm saying,
I'll
then
be
I'd like you
honest,
to object to it. But
yeah.
you've been agreeing with me all the way up to this
Calm
point.
down.
Several
God.
arguments.
So, okay, then we can get to red kiwis. So the red kiwi situation is different because the person in question was 14 years of age. 14 years of age, you're obviously going to have a lot less of an understanding of the implications of sexual relationships, even if we fully understand that he had understanding the person was 14 years of age. I don't think anyone of 14 years of age should be engaging with most anybody sexually, let alone somebody who's 17 years old. There's obviously a difference
Yeah,
between a
just like
14-year-old cognitively and a 16-year-old. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
well,
just like
we're
Zaptie.
talking about perceived ages. If you actually want to talk about the actual actual age is like in question, then it would be 12
the
years old.
actual ages, like they fucking matter.
Yeah, they don't matter. I agree, they don't matter. So stop trying to pick up Zaptie's like
No,
actual
dude, they
ages.
do matter. The actual ages are like 100%
No, they
relevant.
don't. No, they don't. They only
Oh,
matter to
so
you
it
about the
wouldn't count
person.
as
Yes,
statutory
yes,
rape?
because the understanding of what some like the interactions that you have 100% informs you what you think is morally like
Did you
moral
really
to do.
just say that the actual ages don't matter in statutory rape because you're talking way too quick to understand what I'm saying?
I'm
Did you
saying
really
that
just respond that way?
generally speaking, they have a lot less of my informants to somebody's moral character than the
Not
actual
in
ages that they
jail.
perceived. I don't
Not
give
in
a fuck.
jail.
Stop appealing to legality. Stop appealing to legality. That doesn't
Not
determine
in
our
jail,
morals.
it doesn't matter.
That doesn't determine our morals. Do you think that because things are legal, they're okay? You brought up that like
How
the
old
age
are
of
you,
consent
Bunk?
is bizarrely.
How old are you?
I'm sorry. No, I'd
How old are
like
you?
you to answer my question. You even brought up in
How
your
old are you? I'm
video.
24.
You even brought up in your
How old are
video.
you?
You even brought up in your video that the morality is not the same as legality, and that's not what we should be basing our morals off of. So why are you trying to do that in a debate with me?
No, because you're saying it's not relevant at all.
And you're saying it's relevant in prison, which is an appeal to more, like illegality.
How old are you, Bunk?
I'm actually an immortal dragon. I'm actually
Answer the
6,000 years
question.
old.
How
I'm
old are you?
6,000 years old. I'm literally 6,000 years old. Okay.
No, because I think I have an idea. How old are you?
I'm 6,000 years old. I'm an immortal dragon. Yeah.
Bunk is 19.
No, I'm
He's 19?
6,000. I'm 6,000. Smaggle's
okay.
lying.
Okay, answer the
Yeah, he's
question.
The
being
autistic
retarded.
I thought
retard's
he
lying
was
again. The
Doesn't
autistic
became
retard's lying
autistic.
again. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
is an age-
so because of that, I could just draw a moral distinction between the Red Kiwi situation and the Zaptie situation. Obviously, what Red Kiwis did is worse. And then from that, we could also draw a moral difference between these situations.
Wait,
and we
but
could
how
say
is
that
what Red Kiwis did worse?
whoa.
because the understanding that somebody's 14, they should not be engaging in any kind of relationship at that age.
Yeah, but he was 17, so wouldn't that be like a 3-year age gap?
I don't care about the age gap itself. I care about the ability
Okay,
of
so you just
informed
don't care.
consent.
All right, got it.
No, I
Understood.
care about the ability of informed consent. For example, there could be an age gap of like 20 years
Yeah,
between
but
someone
wouldn't
who was
that
20 and someone who was 40. Between someone who was
17?
See,
Didn't Augie defend that?
I'm not Augie. Stop trying acting like you're trying to talk to
but
Augie. I'm not
like
Augie.
asking. I'm asking because like that he made that argument legally.
I'm not sure.
so, like,
Maybe he did make that argument. Maybe he didn't. I don't give
No,
a
he
fuck. I'm
did
not here to
for a
defend that
fact.
argument. I'm not here to defend that argument. You're not talking to Augie. You're talking to me.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, yeah, no, because Augie's a lot more of a blowover on this topic. Is that why?
No, because you talk way too fucking much.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, so I'm sorry. I need to slow down, all right? I'm gonna talk to you like I'm talking to a 4th grader, right?
No,
okay, I'm gonna
please
go really
through,
slow.
because that would be more. That would actually hurt more.
Okay. So you want me talking to fast or you want me to talk slow? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like, what
I
do you
want you to get to the fucking point. Is
Yeah,
what I want.
yeah,
but I
that's
know
what
you're
I'm trying to
gonna
do.
talk for a
That's what
while,
I'm
so you
trying
might
to
as well
do.
talk
That's what
quick.
I'm trying to do. So because I could draw these
Try harder.
distinctions, so first of all, it's not just the age gap that matters. That's not the only thing that matters in a given interaction. What matters is the informed consent of the individual. And if someone's 14 years of age, they're obviously going to be able to give less informed consent than somebody who's, for example, 16. Or for example, somebody who's 20. I'd be okay with a 20-40 interaction between two people that is sexual because the person who's 20 years old will be able to give informed consent. There's obviously a lot of issues that arise whenever we have a 14-year-old in these given situations. They're not able to understand the implications of sexual interaction to the same degree that somebody who maybe be even like 16 would be able to understand. 16 like would I be able to understand these given interactions?
Is
That's my
it the
point.
adults? Is it the adults' responsibility to make sure they know the exact age of the person they're talking to?
Ideally, but I don't think that would determine our moral character, just negligence.
You don't think that would
I think
determine
that's
moral
negligence.
character?
I think negligence is a lot worse than malice. Or a lot better than malice, I should say. Sorry.
So if you're talking to something that's already very close to being illegal as fuck, you think that's not
I
like...
don't give a fuck if it's illegal right now.
don't
I'm talking
give a
about
fuck.
morals. We're talking
Okay,
about morals
okay.
right now.
So morally,
I'm
if you're
sorry,
talking to something that
holy
might
shit.
get you thrown in fucking prison, you think it's not weird at all that they wouldn't like
I think that's a
doubly,
large degree.
triply
I think
check?
that's a large degree of negligence, but that doesn't inform my ability of like my considerations of somebody's moral character.
Why would a
nearly as
20-year-old be
much.
talking to a 16-year-old?
I think it's probably bad. I don't think it's as bad as the other situations that you brought up, and I think that we can probably
Okay, but they're both bad,
weigh
right?
these interactions. Well, obviously,
They're
they're
both
both
bad,
bad. There's a
right?
gradient of bad. There's a lot of things that are
Okay.
bad. For example, I'd say that like
We're making a tier list
I'd
again?
say that I'd say like
right.
obviously do you not agree that some things are worse than
No,
others?
dude, I love tier lists.
Do you not agree that some things are worse than others, Tentacles?
Who are we putting an S? Who's the worst one? Would you say?
Do you not think that cases?
Do you not think that some things are worse than others? Do you think that if someone
Do
does
you
something
Do
immoral?
you not think this very obvious fucking thing? Of course, I think that.
Okay,
retard.
so we
That's
are
not
doing
what we're
this. So we
talking
are
about.
doing the tier list then.
No,
Yes, we are. Okay, buddy. I'm sorry. Like you're
Tier list
doubling
doesn't
back
matter
on this.
'cause
Come on.
the tier list doesn't matter because it's all bad. That's the whole fucking point.
Oh, okay. So technicals. Do you think that if somebody does something bad, like anything that's immoral whatsoever,
Doc,
they should
can
be
you
like?
queue up a tier list and we can start like ranking pedophiles?
I'm sorry. Oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
Yeah, I can.
Like technicals. Your
I
name's
think-
technicals. You should be able to like engage
Yeah.
with a degree of nuance. Oh my god.
You should be able to- shut the fuck up, dude.
You legitimately sound like a retarded 2-year-old child. So please don't please do not come out.
I don't
with
think that's what
anything.
the audience thinks right now. Can we get a poll? Can I poll your audience, Doc? Who sounds more
Sure.
retarded, me or Bunk?
Type
I'm
one in
trying
the
to have a
chat.
conversation with you.
Type
Yeah,
one
so
in the chat
because-
if Bunk sounds retarded. Type 2 in the chat
So
if I
because
sound retarded.
okay, so because
I'm typing 3.
there's a moral
Bunk,
difference.
You didn't give an
Typing 3
exact
as well.
age. You're
do you mean
more
exact
retarded in
age?
this.
Oh yeah,
fucking
type
debate.
3 if we both
Smaggle.
sound retarded because this is a waste of time.
Type 3
Okay.
if Smaggle's retarded.
Oh my dear lord. So because certain things are morally worse than others, we can weigh them at different degrees. If we can weigh them at different degrees, we can say I can draw a
So
line.
now
between
weight
something that is
matters.
bad.
Who am I debating? Nicholas Diorio? Come on, dude. Can we get to the fucking point?
Oh my
Dude.
god. Please. Why can't you have this conversation? Why can't you have this conversation?
Dude, I'm having the conversation right now. What do you mean?
It's really, really, really simple. Okay.
Oh shit, Boblax
This is
made a poll.
This is like like super basic things, okay?
I'm gonna
That
vote
things
for
that are
you.
worse, sometimes with things that are obviously worse than others, right? We can both agree on this. You agree with me on that. Things that are worse than others. So certain things, we can draw a line in between different things that are bad as to who should be welcomed back and who shouldn't. And because we can do that, I can have a consistent moral system that does not condemn Zaptie in the same way it does for mini lads, ZeRo, or red kiwis.
Yeah, I think the issues that the commentary community makes jeeping, what? I'm fucking retarded. Makes sweeping generalizations. I like mixed sweeping in general. Sweeping generalizations about these topics where it's like, if you're a fucking predator, one and done, right?
Well,
Like, I
yeah.
think we know that a lot of
I
people
agree.
say
That's bad.
So that's
Yeah,
why I
So-
don't. So this is why I don't think you messed up nearly as badly as like some people think that you do. I think there's a large degree of nuance to it, but I think that I could also make a system that does not condemn Zaptie in the same way it does ZeRo or mini lad.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Okay.
But the people I'm criticizing don't, which is why I made the video.
All right. Fantastic. Then I don't think we have any other disagreements to go over then.
Oh, okay, cool.
Alright.
So we basically agreed the whole time, but like,
But
I think-
y'all were just spurging out. each other.
I mean, I was
dude.
just trying to have a conversation. Like, Tech, I legitimately
yeah,
did not want to be hostile with you.
I
Like,
get
don't
it,
know.
bro, but it's like I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of in like a hostile mood. It's like entertaining also because I know it's being live streamed. So.
Yeah, when Bunk
Nothing
brought up
personal.
race, that's when it started getting entertaining.
that was kind of funny.
That
No,
was really funny.
All right. Well,
So-
Tech, I'd like to have like more conversations with you as it like pertains to this sometime later on, maybe, and we can
yeah,
iron
for
out
sure.
more
If there's ever like
nuances.
another case.
Yeah,
or
all right. I'll
whatever.
add you on Discord. Maybe we can like talk some other time. All right. It was a good conversation.
All right, man.
Peace.
I'm gonna make that pedo tier list in the meantime.
All right, cool.
All right, boys.
Advil, you get to now talk.
Hey, what's up,
This
Jack?
was. All right, I'm gonna give some
Man,
context real quick.
that was
Advil
fun.
was the one who made the video on Tech's brother. Pixel
Yeah,
Brain.
I'm the lispy
That
retard, as you
was
said.
Oh man. No, literally the only point that I have to this is I'm not here to defend other people's arguments. My only point is that I can welcome ZeRo back in the same way I might not do for mini lad. I think that like Zaptie is at the not ZeRo. Zaptie is at the very, very edge of what I'd say we should be welcoming back into a community. I think that all I had to do was prove that one situation was worse than the other. That was a good conversation. Yeah, it was. I just didn't want like I think that Technicals is in a situation where they feel as though they're being attacked. They are being attacked by a lot of people with a lot of really stupid points. And I think I think I can understand where Technicals is coming from. Like you get into this highly defensive mode. But I didn't want to have I didn't want to come into a conversation with Tech where we like both yelled at each other. Like that's not what I want to do. Because I think it's going to be like very, very hard to go through. He said the person was worthy of going to jail. I think there's no welcoming back justification if you're going by harm. He said the person was worth going to jail for. Well, yeah, no, obviously people like say a lot of really fucked up shit. Like, yeah, I've said things that are worse than that. I don't know, like, that's not harm. That's not how I like judge harm. I think the person who's been harmed in this scenario and the likelihood of a reoffense is a lot less than something like red kiwis or mini lad. That's my entire point, and that's what I was trying to prove. I think it was a productive conversation, though. I was just really trying to kind of get through a lot of the points that were happening there. Oh man, I think I did fairly well in the conversation though. I think yeah, I could have gone a lot worse. But I did get I did get technicals to agree with me on the fact that I can make a moral system that doesn't condemn Zaptie, but it does condemn ZeRo. That's what I wanted to do, and I think I got him to concede to that point at the very end, and that was very, very good. All right, we don't have to worry about that. All right, that was, oh god, that was fun actually. Tentacles, I feel like if he wasn't as hostile, he'd be a lot more fun to talk with. I feel like he'd be a lot easier to have a conversation with if he came at it from a less hostile perspective, is what I'd say. Yeah. Discount test. Kill yourself, Bo Blacks. Hate you. Me and Bo Blacks have mad beef, alright? It was a good conversation. Oh man, that was hold up, let's read through the chat of what was going on during this discussion. Who's more tarded? Oh god. People really don't like me. People really don't like me, so I hope I get more. Ooh. Okay. Tech was being more tarded then. To be honest, technicals isn't that bad, is what I would say, actually. This is something I would actually go with. I don't think technicals is as bad as a lot of people are going to paint him out to be. Like, genuinely. I think the mistakes that technicals made were less, like, anyone could be making them, in my opinion. Like, morality is so incredibly, exceedingly nuanced. And I only, like, I think I'm probably going to argue better than a lot of people are going to when it comes to this given topic, because this is, like, my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I talk morality. This is what I do. But yeah, here's the results. Fun. Fun. Did you say it was, did you say it while committing the crime? Pretty weird defense. I don't really care about the crimes, though. That's the problem. I don't care about, like, legality. It's just not something I factor into my moral system. Like, they're, like, really, really bad things could be immoral, or, like, really, really bad things can be legal, right? I don't really consider that as, like, a factor. Like, I think that I'm, like, only going by morals. I don't really give a fuck about legality. That doesn't really factor in to what I'm saying. Yeah, but really illegal things can be okay? Yeah, of course they can. 100% they can be okay, right? So, like, hold up. I'm gonna make a situation where, like, something that really, really illegal could be moral, okay? So here's a really easy example of it, right? So let's say we live in an authoritarian dictatorship, okay? Like, literally 1984 style shit. And within this authoritarian dictatorship, protesting is illegal, highly illegal. People can't vote for things. There's no way to get things passed like that, right? And because of that, I can do things, for example, let's say I go and commit a terrorist act. I go commit a terrorist act to try and alleviate some of the oppression that I'm facing. I think that is highly illegal, but it's also moral. It's easily morally justifiable. I think these do exist. These situations 100% exist. Haha, hypothetical is just the prompt to get you into particular? No, you asked a question. I gave you a hypothetical for it. Where it's like, yeah, no, highly illegal things can be moral. I'm not saying what he did was good. I think what Zaptie did was bad. But I think the likelihood that Zaptie reoffends and the atrocities committed were less so than someone like ZeRo. That's my only point. That's my whole point, in fact. In light of shouting about the legality that he agrees to, it seems, I think that you should color your understanding of how he views that and the likelihood to reoffend on that. In the light of shouting about the legality that he agrees to, well, we don't agree to what? I don't care if he argues if it's legal. I didn't argue it was legal. So that's not what I'm concerned with. I don't give a fuck. But the takeaway from, like, Technicals' video was the idea that you couldn't, like, make a moral system that condemned one and didn't condemn the other. Like, that was the entire point, was that there's a hypocrisy there. But I think that I was able to articulate the idea that it's, that you can draw that distinction, right? You're talking about reoffense. I'm talking about the likelihood of bad things happening, essentially. Of like, for example, if someone does something really, really wrong, I think that is a higher chance of reoffense. If they do something really, really wrong multiple times, that's a high chance of reoffense. But I think that there's obviously a moral distinction to be made between Zaptie and ZeRo, and because I can make the moral distinction, obviously, I can make a system that says that one is bad, and the but they should be able to have a platform, and the other one is bad, and they shouldn't.
Fuck Bunk. Tired of that dumbass loser. Crying in his bedroom while I'm cruising in my cruiser. This dumbass bitch, think that he's cool while streaming on Twitch. Call this Vietnam, we're gonna get you on a weight loss program. Everyone knows, you will never be a pro. Well, I'm part of my rap game. Always tripping out, never no problems with burnout. The vids keep coming, so does the drama. Clear in your notepad, your tweets aging with a granddad. Capital of Chad, doing flips. Everyone in the chat, Bunk is a bitch. Yeah, Bunk is a bitch. No one likes Bunk.